Hiya, Colt Fanboy here. I mentioned in my other video that I got a WRX Subaru Impreza as a winter project. Now I'm going to run off some service part numbers for you, just service items. For anyone wondering, this is a model year 2001, which is a bug eye, through to 2005 blob eye. This one in particular is a blob eye. That's why they call them blob eye. If you do a search there, come up as GD/GG. They're the parts you want. Now there's three kinds of quality of parts you can get for these cars. There's so many out there. There's a poor quality Chinese stuff, medium quality name filters like your Mann and your Fram, and then there's Subaru genuine and specialist like HKS and K&M. So I'm going to go for the mid-range. I'm going to start with the plugs. As far as WRXs are concerned, I don't think there's any compromise. NGK PFR6B. They're not impossible to fit. There's a lot of rumour saying they're really difficult. They're not that bad. Mr. Subaru 1387, I called him 1987 last time, but 1387 does a brilliant vid on how to do it. The toughest one to do, passenger rear. You've got to take that out. You can take the battery out, it's up to you. But a socket, a half-inch socket or a 3/8 socket will slot in nicely. You take the coil pack off, take the plug out, rinse and repeat all four. On this side you've got to take the airbox out and take it away. Okay, next we'll go to the air filter. Now I did a video on the air filter. I've got a Cosworth filter in mine, but the Mann filter is a C2964. And I'll put all the numbers in the description as I said. Or Subaru genuine part 16546AA020. 2-minute job. Unclip, lift, pull it out. When you put the new filter in, make sure it's located at the back there. In the little holes there's a little slot that locates in. Push it down, clip it up again. Finished, done job. Right, your belts. Now I took the cover off the belts. Easy to do. Again, Mr. Subaru's got a how-to video. Here's your alternator, here's your air con. You basically have to slacken off that bolt for there. Okay, that's your tensioner. Same for this one, slacken off a bolt down there. There's your tensioner. Undo them, they'll drop down, and you just lift the belt off. Okay, this one off first, this one off second, this one back on first, this one back on second, then put the cover on, which I took off just to make it a bit easier. Now your belts, I've got gates on there. Your air conditioner for the gates is a 4PK898, and your alternator power steering, which is this one, is a 5PK877. I'll put the Subaru numbers next to them as well because they're a bit too long to read out. Fuel filter. Again, very easy. You undo the clips, remove this unclips from here. You can remove that. Unclip it by hand, no screwdrivers needed. These are your Phillips screwdrivers. You have to turn that one round actually. It's a Mann WK711 or Subaru 42072AA011. Okay, very cheap. They're only about £10–15. I've got a Mann filter on here. Pollen filter inside is a CU2145 Mann filter. Yeah, this does what it does. It's not bad. It's quite an easy job. You've got to take the glove compartment out. Right, moving on to the oil filter. I've got a genuine Subaru one on here, which is a 15208 AA12A. They're good, they are what they are, but I've been told that for a few pounds more you can get an HKS filter which have got a magnet in them, and those are HKS 52009 AK001. Alright, and they're by far the best. Again, this is for the WRX, not for the STIs. They have different air filters. Oil, I use Helix Ultra 5W40 fully synthetic. Alright, which again is a pretty good oil for these things. The coolant, genuine Subaru coolant only. You only get it from genuine, from Subaru dealers. I'm not sure what to replace it with. There's certain types of coolant that you can't use in these cars, so I've kind of skipped that one. If you're going to get your coolant, go to Subaru and get it from there. Yeah, so I think that's that. Last thing, O2 sensor on this model. Okay, here's your O2 sensor lead. Now it's a Denso genuine part. You don't do any cheap ones, don't do any Bosch or anything like that. Go for Denso. It used to be DOX 0357. It's been superseded by DOX 0306. It's got a slightly longer lead on it, but the 0357s, this had a 357 on it before and it knocked it out within about 20,000 miles apparently. It says DOX 0306. I'll double check that for you actually. Yep. And it's a genuine Denso O2 sensor, front pre-cat sensor. They're expensive, but if yours goes, that's what you need to replace it with. It took me quite a while to find that out on the net. Did a lot of searching, a lot of looking around, and eventually, yeah, got it right. So bear that in mind. They're not impossible to do either, to be fair. You have to whip the wheel off, jack it up, and there's a little, there's a panel in there, which you just basically pull out, and then you can get your O2 sensor socket over it. Or if you're feeling adventurous, you can get a 22mm socket, unplug this, drop it down, 22mm socket all the way along, and from underneath you can crack it off. But it's tricky. Okay, well I hope you like that. Give us a like. If you've got any comments, just add them in the comments bar. And again, I'll put all the numbers down for the service items. I think I've covered everything with regards to that. Oil changes on these are easy. Filter changes on these are easy. You just drop the panel off at underneath, undo that, pull it out. It's clipped at the back in 2 places, and yeah, it's all quite accessible. So yeah, but Mr. Subaru 1387, he'll tell you how to do the belts. He'll tell you how to do the plugs, the fuel filter, air filter is quite simple. So yeah, check him out, and thanks a lot for watching.